Okay, so if I was an octopus and I had 8 arms, I would have all of my different arms and then all of the tentacles on each one of those arms on the different pieces of nurturing my practice members without dropping any balls. And the goal is that that happens these days through automation. We can lean on automation to help us get all of the things to all of the people without touching our time. So that when it comes to true connection with a practice member, that connection is protected, it's honored, there's sacred space for it because it is really important. It's really important that, hi, Ankar, it's really important that we protect the time that's necessary to nurture our practice members before, during, and after visit one. And all too often, somebody will walk into our practice and they won't know us from a hole in the wall, and they're not well prepared for the visit or the experience, and all of this time and energy is wasted. Sometimes even money is wasted. That's what this call is about. This call is about protecting that wasting from happening. So take a moment, and I do this often on this call, and I'm going to actually share my screen right now. Take a moment and think back to the last time you were a new practice member in somebody's practice. Think about the experience of walking in for the first time and not knowing, not maybe even not being sure that this is the person that's truly going to help you get the help that you're looking for, solve the problem that you're looking to solve. How intimidating is it? How overwhelming is it? Are you nervous that you're going to be burning money? Are you nervous that you're going to be wasting time? For some of us, that's even more important because maybe we have more financial resources than we do have time resources. If there's a way that that practice could nurture you before you even book the appointment with them, so that you know that you know that you know that when you walk in, you're in the right place to get the help that you need. And they know that you know that you're in the right place to get the help that you need. Think about the pressure that that would take off of you as a practice owner. When somebody walks in the office, you've already connected with them. And you've connected with them in a way before their first visit that doesn't waste your time. And I say that with all of the respect and love in my heart possible. These are the different stages of a new patient journey, a new practice member journey. Stage one is they're a lead. There's no trust yet. They don't know you. Maybe they've heard your name. Maybe they saw your business card. Maybe they listened to a podcast, whatever. Maybe your name drop happened with one of your partners in your community. They still have to establish trust with you. They still need certainty that you're the person to help them solve the problem that they think they're coming to you with. And I say that in that way because of this. People come to me as a pediatric and prenatal chiropractor because they think that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z for them because they don't know anything about chiropractic. I had someone on a discovery call this morning and she kept referring to chiropractic as chiropractory. That's how little they know about my world. That is like, I know chiropractic like the back of my hand, no pun intended, because I've been a patient for 35 years and I've been in practice for 26, but this is their first go at an experience with a chiropractor, and it's with their newborn baby. So how important is it that before they even have that discovery call with me, there's already a little bit of trust being established because maybe they watched a video, maybe they got a voicemail from me, all automated. Okay, so there's the lead stage. And then the next stage, which cannot be ignored, is they go into the visit one stage. The visit one stage is when they think that it's a yes, but they're not positive. It's also when picture I Love Lucy when she's standing in the bucket of olives making the olive oil, right? I'm doing that with my practice member. I'm planting seeds because my goal is that I'm their chiropractor for the rest of our lives. It's not for their headache to go away or their baby to flip or whatever the reason why is on their end. I see long term for life. I'm always going to need a chiropractor, and they are too, right? So I'm in that olive pit and I'm making the olive oil to nurture them during this visit one process. This is the stage that they're in. This stage could also be called initial consultation. And then we move to once they've said yes to care, now they're a practice member. And the nurturing that happens while they're a practice member is just as important as the nurturing when they're a lead, because we want to keep educating them. We want them to understand why referrals are so important. We want them to understand why, like getting, I don't, what they put in their body and what they put on their body is just as important as how they move their body. These are all pieces that are going to help facilitate what we do. As a straight chiropractor, I want to educate them on the 33 principles of chiropractic. I want them to understand the safety pin cycle. I want them to understand what subluxation is, right? That's important to me because that's my foundation. I'm going to do that through nurturing, and I'm going to do that nurturing in an automated way that doesn't lose the personal connection. That's the goal. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through what this can potentially look like. Okay. The next slide is going to hurt your brains a little bit because there's a lot to it. So this is what it ends up looking like. All of them have a few elements in common. Lead, visit one, and practice member. They've got channels that they're plugged into for communication. Facebook, Instagram, voicemails, emails, text messages, knee-to-knee, heart-to-heart conversations, in-person connection. Most of this can be run by AI. Some of it can't be. And the art of connection with practice members is knowing as AI gets busier and grows faster, it's knowing when the real knee-to-knee, heart-to-heart connection has to happen. A lot of people are trying to put AI where it shouldn't be. There are moments in the new patient journey where there should be nothing to do with AI. I'm looking in your eyes. I'm sitting right across from you. I'm holding your hand and I'm saying to you, I've got you and I've got your baby. And I promise you, as long as I am able and functioning, I'm going to give you the best chiropractic care possible. That cannot happen through AI. Okay. So the lead, the visit one, the practice member stages can all use these channels of communication. And I would say 85% of it can be automated. I would say 10% of it needs to be manually pushed by a person, and 5% of it needs to be the knee-to-knee, heart-to-heart conversation. Okay, so that's the first piece that I want you to see. Another important piece to this is that wherever they see you, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, your website, your signature, whatever it is, there's a consistency. They see the same colors, they see the same vibe, they see the same fonts, so that there's a part of their brain that starts to recognize, oh, this is Dr. Jody. Oh, this is Dr. Jen. And there's an emotional piece to it, right? I remember, and I love to tell this story, that when I was a little kid, I used to go to Dr. Tierney's office, and I was probably 8, 9. It's one of my first memories. Maybe I was a little bit younger, 6, 7. And I remember I would go to Dr. Tierney's office, and I remember the smell. I can still remember the smell of his office. It was like a Windexy smell. And I remember being in the gown. I remember sitting on something cold. I still remember that experience. I remember that the counter it was higher than my eyes could see over, because up top, on top of the counter, I'll use the 7th generation, up top, there was a container of lollipops. They were red lollipops. And I remember that I could deal with all of the yucky, painful, icky things that happened at Dr. Tierney's office if I got a lollipop at the end of it. And I still remember what the lollipop tastes like. Do you want to hear something really funny? Is that I have this thing for lollipops. Like, my nerve system got to know that I work really hard, I get a lollipop at the end just from that experience with Dr. Tierney. It's one of the only memories from when I was that age. Okay. Did he know that that was being embedded in my memory and my nerve system? Probably not. There probably wasn't a conscious journey of it. He didn't know how important the container of lollipops was to me because they probably weren't as important to the next 10 kids that walked in his office. But I remembered it. I still remember it to this day. So then I throw the ball back in your court and I say to you, what are your practice members, especially the kids? What are they connecting to or attaching to their experience with you? Is it what they smell? Is it what they hear? Is it what they feel? Is it how they feel, how you make them feel? Is it the sounds in the office, the music in the office? Is it the lollipop? Is it the colors? Is it the other people? Is it you singing? Above all of my adjusting tables, I have these really beautiful handmade butterfly mobiles. And so many people come to my practice 10 years later, 20 years later, and say, I remember when I was a little kid, I remember looking up at the butterfly mobiles. You just never know what piece they're going to grab onto. So when you set this stuff up, when you set up lead to visit one to practice member, you want to think about the opportunities for you to be leaving a lifelong impression on them. And hopefully it's a positive one. Okay, so I want to move on from this. People come to my Zoom, they'll have a discovery call with me. These are clients of Staffless Practice, not my patients, practice members. And they say, Jody, I need to plan out my visit one and I need a marketing plan. That's why I'm in your Zoom. Let's go. Let's do it. And what I say is, let's back up a minute. Let's go, let's look at what else you have figured out already. Have you figured out this? These are the 12 step, this is the 12-step system for Staffless Practice. Step one is time, energy, money exchange. Energy is the vision, the mission, the values of the practice. Have you figured that piece out yet? Step two is setting up your office to be efficient. Especially, Jen and I just had this awesome call on how do you manipulate your schedule so that you can do all of the things at all the time without a physical person in the office with you, right? So number two is setting up client help yourself areas. Anything that you say more than 4 or 5 times a day, there should be an automation for it. And usually there's a space in your office where you can say to them, go do the thing over there. And usually they're around time, energy, money. Go schedule over there. We even have a service now where we can have someone on an iPad during your adjusting hours hanging out in a HIPAA compliant way with you, taking requests from your practice members. They walk up to the iPad, the person's waiting for them in the iPad and says, how can I help? Where do you want to schedule? What do you want me to send to you? What do you want me to email to you? How do you want me to send you your receipt? Whatever it might be. So set up these patient communication areas to protect your time, energy, money, to protect their time, energy, money. Okay, so that's office space. Make sure your space is not outdated. Make sure it doesn't smell bad. If you don't have a strong sense of smell, the people who move through the world with a crazy strong sense of smell will not be able to be in your practice if it doesn't smell good. They will, no matter how great your care is, they'll walk in and they'll turn around and walk back out because it affects us that much if our sense of smell, if our nociceptors are our strongest nerve system stimulant. Okay. Support. What support do we need? Do we know what AI can do for us? Have we studied Claude and Manus and ChatGPT? Have we maxed out the support that we can get through AI, through a virtual assistant, through the Staffless Practice team, through our front desk person? And all of this relates back to this stuff, right? If we set the stage for this to be smooth, by working through these steps, we're golden, you guys. So step 4 is AI, putting together an AI plan. This is all part of preparing for success in practice. Then we go into building the components that are necessary. Then we go into scaling. You cannot scale your practice. Delete. You can do anything you want to do, right? It's really difficult to scale your practice if you haven't figured out the prepare pillar pieces yet. It would be really hard for me to do a deadlift of 150 pounds if I've never picked up a barbell before. So we start with this is a barbell, and then we start with adding 10s and then maybe 25s and then maybe 50s and whatever. And I gradually grow up to the big girl weight, right? So the same is true when it comes to building and practice. All of these pieces need preparation. They need time, energy, money systems. They need support. They need automation. Some of them even need AI today in 2026. Okay, so if you're my client, this looks familiar to you. This is called the flywheel system. And here's how we set up success for this. Okay, we use the flywheel system. We put the guide to the flywheel system in Zoom if our clients are with us in Zoom. So here's how this works. Let's take a mom in her 30s who's in a mom's group and she hears my name. Oh, you guys see Dr. Jody. She's blah, 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 right? And then she goes to her OBGYN and my card is sitting on the counter. And then she goes to the health food store and she sees my pen at the register. And then, we're at Target and someone says, Dr. Jody, is that you? And she sees me in this conversation with somebody. That's 4 touches, 4 times. And I don't even know that she's following, she's tracking. Then she starts getting, because you know how the algorithm works, she starts getting my posts and she starts on my feed and then she starts to follow me. And then maybe she leans into something that I have out there. The something that I have out there is called a lead magnet. Okay. And let me just see what, okay. The lead magnet is something for free that I'm giving to her that gives her a taste of what I'm all about, of what I can do for her. I want to show her how I'm going to serve her. So I'm going to give her something for free. In my world, this lesson that I'm doing right now live on Facebook is a lead magnet. My books are a lead magnet. I have trainings that are lead magnets. In my private practice, I may do a 10 things to do before and after baby is born to make things easier, a checklist or a nutrition plan or something that is relevant to my person. You have to do this relevant to your person. I just did a discovery call with somebody she takes care of seniors who love golf. So she might do the 20 things that you want to keep in mind when you're prepping for your golf game. I don't know. I'm not a golf person. That lead magnet is free to them, but they have to give you their name, their email, and sometimes their phone number. When they're in the lead stage now, right? So if we look at our stages, they're still in lead. And while they're in lead, they're getting something in email, they're getting something in text, and maybe they're getting a voicemail. It looks like you called, but you didn't. It's an automated voicemail. And then they get the thing, the magnet itself. They get the exercise, the download, the lesson, the book, whatever your lead magnet is. Now they're in this offer. They're in like offer 1, offer 2. Offer 1, I say, is completely free. They're just hearing my name. Like oh, Dr. Jody, and they see my pen and they see my card and then they hear me at Target, right? That's really like they're dancing in offer 1. Offer 2, they've given me their email. They've probably given me their phone number and I'm giving them a gift. So now we're in exchange. Offer 3 is they probably come to a discovery call. So they're giving me a little bit more time. Now I'm giving them my time. And now we're in an even deeper level of exchange. Offer 4, they come to the office and we're sitting knee to knee, heart to heart, and they probably give me money and I'm giving them more time and I'm giving them an exam, I'm giving them some education, and I'm probably giving them a bitch and adjustment. Okay, so now we're a little bit more in the process of establishing trust and rapport. All the way through to my perfect practice member offer, which is lifetime care. What I want you to know about this system is that every stage requires a different set of emails, a different set of text messages, a different type of nurturing. And if you can do this in an automated way so that you don't have to think about it, you don't have to recreate it, you don't have to do it reactively, you're going to win every time. So that there's time and there's space for that 5% that requires a me-to-me heart-to-heart conversation. That's the goal. I'm also going to say to you, and I'm saying this specifically to our clients, to tread lightly because automation is susceptible to mistakes. And it can get, you got to keep it simple. You got to stay connected to the automation you have in place. Like this morning, I had a call with Lori, our developer, and I'm like, every time somebody books a discovery call, I get an email about a new patient appointment. What is happening in my world right now? Like there were things crossing. It happens. It's going to happen because we're implementing automation. Don't get pissed off at it. Just hold it lightly. Take a deep breath. It's just an email, right? Okay, I want to show you how this comes together. So before I do that, does anybody in my Zoom have any questions? Since you're my client and you're in my Zoom, you get front row access. Anybody have questions so far? I'm going to Jody practice suite. Hold on. I want to show you how cool this is, you guys. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a practice suite. And let's say that Anthony here comes to my office. No, he doesn't come to my office yet. He's in the first stage. He's a lead. And maybe he called my office to check out like what my hours are, or maybe he started a conversation on my website, or maybe he booked a discovery call. Then he would be in the new practice member stage, right? Whatever communication he reaches out to me with, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or calls or texts or fax or emails, it's all going to show up in his window here. So if you can imagine, like, remember I was talking about the octopus and having 8 arms and all the tentacles? This is my 8 arms and all the tentacles. This is me having connection to all of the pieces in one screen. Because these days, the virtual body for us is on a computer. It's on a screen. And the less screens involved, the better. That's why the practice suite was born. And I want to go into that in a minute, but we're going to stay here for a minute. I'm not going to get distracted. So if Anthony comes in to see me, let's say he starts with a discovery call. We're going to work with Bob Knoxville here. And I just want to show you guys this. So here's my website. And before the scroll happens, they see where to start. New friends start here. They click this. And they learn about what I do, what I don't do. And then they go into what are the concerns around time, energy, money, 1-minute videos, and then my reviews, and then book a discovery call. As soon as he books this discovery call, he's going to then have a card right here on this board. And then I'm like, oh, look, I got a text. I have a discovery call scheduled. And I have the discovery call and it's a yes, then I'm going to move him to the next page on the next section on the journey. And by moving his card along, even if he's not a fit, by moving his card, an automation is going to be triggered. This is where I'm saying to you, you guys have to know what your automations are or let our team manage this for you. If I move his card to after visit 1, he's a yes to care, he's going to go into the practice member nurturing sequence, the staged practice member, an email a week explaining the 33 principles, explaining the safety pin cycle, explaining what subluxation is, explaining why babies get adjusted, right? If he's a newborn and let's say dad is Bob and baby is Bobby, okay? Then he's going to get tagged differently. And maybe there's another section on this board that says after visit 1, yes, adult. After visit 1, yes, baby. If it went to baby, then it would be a baby nurturing sequence. You guys, you can do this in any way that you want. The hardest part of creating this automation is knowing what you want. And some people are like, I don't have any time to figure out what I want. Just do it. Just put it together for me and we can do that too. So that's the practice suite. And as long as I'm in outreach now. As long as all of my social media channels are connected, and this one I have Facebook and Instagram connected, then anybody who messages me on Facebook and Instagram are going to land in my practice suite. We're in the process of putting together, it's called Honey AI, and our Honey AI system will have automations if it's the first time we get a message in your suite from that client, it'll start a conversation with that lead. If it's the first time they start a conversation on your website, it'll start a conversation on your website with that lead. The AI Honey system will also act as your personal assistant and the assistant for our team to collect all of the stuff we need to collect from you. I wanted to just share with you too that what happened in my world, my practice is everything. It's like, it's my third baby. It's everything to me. Chiropractic is like breath to me. It's that necessary. I need air. I need chiropractic. And when my practice started getting affected as Staffless practice was growing. Staffless practice started as a coaching program. And we were coaching doctors and teaching them how to run a practice without staff. Like, this is what you do with your office. This is what you do with your emails. And they were on all these different platforms. And while we were growing, and my book, I got book one, book two, all of my books came out. We got busier and busier. My practice started getting affected. And I was like, I have this for my texting. I have this for my email. My website is over here. I've got Facebook over here. I couldn't keep up with all of the admin. And I reached out to the coaches that I was using personally at that time for Staffless practice. And I was like, I'm fragmented. My practice is being affected. I don't want to hire a team. I need everything in one place. And somebody told me about Go High Level. I spent 6 months trying to figure out Go High Level. I probably wasted upwards of 100 hours and I just went in circles with it. I would cancel it and then start over and then cancel it and then start over. And finally, my coaches told me about a woman who they worked with to set up Go High Level with them. And I reached out to her, and 4 years later, here we are, and we have, we're crushing it with the practice suite. And the practice suite was developed for my practice to save and protect my time, and now we share it. And now we're actually a practice growth partnership with coaching on this side. So that's kind of the full circle of how we figured all of this out. I digress. So what I wanted to share with you guys today was make sure that you're able to pinpoint each practice member and where they're at in the journey. Start with writing down what the problems are. What's the problem with the texting? What's the problem with the emails? What's the problem with the education? What's not working as smoothly as you want it to be working? As long as you know what the challenge is, you can find the solution. And most of the time, we can't even figure out what the problem is. I'll end with this. Another one of our clients is like, they're just in this place where nothing looks right anymore. They're going through a growth spurt. And they reach out to me and say, Jody, I don't even know if I want to practice anymore because everything I knew to be true no longer feels true to me. And just this place of start over. And my message to this person was, most people have all of these problems and they can't even identify that the problems are there. You know that your problems are there and you are so ahead of the game because now all we have to do is match a solution with each problem. So think about that as you go into this next week. What are the solutions that you want to match? What are the problems that you want to match a solution to? What stage in the journey is each one of your practice members? And what do you want to give them? What do you want to say to them? What do you want your lead magnets to be? If you have questions about anything that I said, please reach out to me. I'm right here for it. I'm going to stop the stream. If you're in Zoom with me, hang tight.